Hello, you guys, and welcome back to Mystical Visions. So, today, for whatever reason, I've just been feeling the divine feminine, like for real, for real. So I felt like, it's time, I guess. It's time for a divine feminine reading. So, in today's video, we're going to take a look at what message the divine feminine yin energy has for you today. Now, this could be picturized in however you see the divine feminine. It could be a goddess, it could be Mother Gaia, it could be the Kundalini energy, whatever you see, the cosmic womb, whatever you see as the image of the divine feminine, that's where your message is coming from. All right. So there's no specific theme. We're just going to see what the cards want to say, what the divine feminine has to say for you today. So without much further ado, we have 3 piles. For pile 1, we have a garnet. Pile 2, we have a citrine. And for pile number 3, we have a carnelian stone. So, as always, the timestamps are down in the video description below. I'll give you some time with these piles and see which one calls to you energetically. If this video resonates with you, if you enjoy it and it gives you some guidance, then please do let me know by giving it a big thumbs up, comment below, subscribe to my channel, do all that good stuff. And without much further ado, I'll see you at your reading. Okay, wow. Pile 1, your energy. Okay. So anyway, welcome to your reading about a message from the divine feminine. So if you picked this beautiful garnet crystal, oh boy, let's get into it. So before we even get into the cards, your energy feels chaotic. I'm going to be honest, pile 1. Because both when I was shuffling the cards and even just now, my camera just wanted to, drop. I have an overhead monopod thing and it just would not behave. So, hi. And unlike the other 2 piles, you guys got 3 oracle cards instead of 2 as well. So, a lot going on. Pile 1, let's take a deep breath and center ourselves before this reading, okay? But I haven't really got a format. I've just got 5 cards and 5 clarifiers for you today. So without much further ado, let's just dive right in. What is your message from the divine feminine? We have the 8 of Swords in reverse. And that is clarified by the Fool. All right. Okay, I think I understand the chaos a little bit right now, pile 1, because it seems like you're going through some endings. Oh, okay, I didn't mean for it to come out as plural, but maybe that was meant to be. It seems like you might be going through multiple endings right now, where multiple areas in your life might feel challenging. They might feel like there's so much chaos in your life, so many things are changing all at once. And as I say that, there's children screaming outside. So maybe your inner child is screaming for some stability. But right now, it almost feels like you're being forced out of your comfort zone. With this 8 of Swords in reverse, the 8 of Swords upright usually talks about creating a sort of barrier, a wall around yourself in order to protect yourself. However, to have that in reverse, and given how chaotic this has all been, to me, intuitively, this kind of feels like you're being forced out of your comfort zone rather than you're stepping out of it yourself voluntarily. And that might be something you resonate with big time. But to clarify that with the Fool, I do think that this is for you. Obviously, everything that's happening usually happens for you, not to you. But specifically this big moment, I haven't looked at the cards, but I do feel like the Death card might pop up. But if it doesn't, it's that energy of the Death, the Tower. It's like something in your life is being shuffled around. And even if you might not feel this yet, maybe that's what's coming sooner rather than later in your future. And then maybe the Divine Feminine is coming in today to offer you a warning of, things are going to be a little crazy, but that's okay, because it is necessary change to put you onto your new path. But if you're already in that process, understand that that's because you're being called to go back to a beginner's mindset. You're being called to go back to sort of the headspace that you would have been in at the start of your current journey that you've already been on, your cycle that's coming to an end. How were you at the beginning of that? Chances are you were a completely different person. So now you're being told that who you are today is nowhere near your final form, but you are entering a new cycle. And to some of you, this might be invigorating. It might be wonderful. It might be something you've been looking forward to. Maybe life has gotten boring. Maybe life has gotten too monotonous, all of that good stuff. But for others of you, this might feel like literally just being smack dab out of your comfort zone, just being like kicked out. My words aren't even coming out right. I feel like you guys are going through something big. You guys are going through it. But it is just, this is a weird example, but it's, what I'm hearing is it's like the pain of childbirth. You know how birth is traumatic for the mother, but also for the child? It feels like in that analogy, your current self would be the mother, and your new self that's embarking on a new journey moving forward would be the child. So you are both. And so it's like doubly painful. Oh my gosh. I don't mean to laugh. I'm so sorry. It's just a strange analogy to me. But it does feel like you might be embodying that sort of rebirth energy right now. So if things are chaotic, hold on, because it is just the universe moving you around, reconfiguring your life in order for you to embark on your next episode of growth. So next we have the Five of Wands in reverse. You love to see it. And the Five of Swords. Okay, 2 conflict cards, you guys. Interesting. Okay, so both the Five of Wands and the Five of Swords usually talk about conflict. It's just that one is more impassioned while the other is more mental. And to me, in this context, it feels like you are stepping out of the stage where all the conflict, all the chaos feels so emotionally charged and so sort of like it has so much power over you. What is that? Sorry, I just got fully distracted. There's like a spot there. Yeah, you might be finding that you're not able to focus on things very well. You're maybe being pulled in like 5 different directions. But with this configuration though, this to me feels actually like a good sign, because with the wands, the chaos is so emotional and primal and like fire. Whereas with the swords, there is still conflict, but it feels like you've emotionally detached from it. So to go from the Five of Wands reversing straight into the Five of Swords, that tells me that maybe you're stepping into a time where, even though there is a lot going on in your life, even though there might be a lot of conflict around you, you're stepping into your unbothered era. Or maybe that might be something you want to work towards. That could be guidance from the Divine Feminine right now, is to step out of your emotional body and step into your mental body a little bit. Which is ironic because the Divine Feminine as a concept lives in that emotional body, whereas the mental body is more masculine. It's almost like she's asking you to let her go for a little bit so that your emotions can recuperate, so that your emotions can recharge, so you can rebuild your supplies, I want to say, or refill your cup, really. It might help you to step into more of a detached mental energy where you just don't react. Don't react. If there is conflict, if it needs resolution, try your best to step away from the situation first. Because do you see how in this card, there is so much conflict and chaos because all 5 of these characters are right in the thick of it. Whereas here, you'll see that although she's having a full breakdown, which, what a queen, this character here is detached and is therefore able to hold these swords. And, you know, since swords talk about mental clarity and just thought, thinking, intelligence, that kind of thing, they're able to wield this. Is it a sword? Is it a hook? I don't know. Whatever, a scythe, whatever that is, the sword. I'm going to call it a sword. They're able to wield that sword with conviction. And you might be being called to embody that sort of detached energy, unbothered energy, where you're like, if this conflict needs resolution, I will approach it with clarity of thought. Next we have, let's see, the 6 of Wands in reverse. There it is. There it is. What did I tell you? There's the Tower. Yeah. You might be entering a time where it feels like you're losing something very precious, something that you spent a lot of time building up. And it might, when it happens, when the fall comes, or when it did come, it might have felt like losing. It might have felt like failure. Because with the 6 of Wands upright, that's usually victory. So in reverse, it usually indicates failure or losing in general. Wow, pile 1. And this is a sudden change as well. The Tower isn't like a slow, calculated moment like the Death card often is to me. The Death card is like that scorpionic fixed energy of like slow moving but dramatic. Whereas with the Tower, it's like bam, you know, it's over. There's a lot of fire energy going wrong. So whatever the situation is, it might involve someone who has heavy fire placements in your life, who may have caused conflict or may have been the source of all the conflict. And you're definitely being called to embody more of your air energy of dealing with this in an intellectual way. So it's a little ironic, Power 1, because it almost feels like the Divine Feminine's advice for you is to step away from your feminine energy. You might be in a very unbalanced, like hyper Divine Feminine energy. And by that, I mean, you might be too receptive, too passive, too emotionally invested in the situation. And you're currently being called to step out of that, because even though we live in a world that is catered to the divine masculine, it is still possible to be so divine feminine that it's unbalanced, and when there is a lack of balance is when things go sideways. So you're being called to step up with a more active clarity of thought in the situation, because it feels like if things feel clouded and if things feel muddy and uncertain, it almost certainly is because your emotions are chaotic, are turbulent right now. And it might be time to either seek help, obviously, if that's something you feel you need. Things like therapy, counseling, all of those are always options. But if not, it might be time to figure out a way you can emotionally distance yourself from everything that's going on. Because obviously, if this isn't resonating, then this is probably not your reading. But if you're still here, it might be. So, it does feel like the reason things are going haywire is to push you onto the right path. But in order to get there, we often have to shed the old energy that has brought us to this point of chaos, right? Because you can't carry that forward on your soul's journey. You can't carry all the drama and the emotional turbulence moving forward. You don't want to. And so it might be time to emotionally detach from that situation. I'm almost getting the image of like someone holding on to like a cloth for so long because there's so like a long piece of fabric, like a bedsheet or a scarf, because at the other end, the person who is tugging the other end is sort of pulling away and you're like holding on so desperately, and right now you're just being told to let go. It's over. Whatever it is, whatever the situation is, it doesn't have to be a person. It can be a job opportunity, a housing situation, finances, whatever it is. It feels like the longer you cling to it emotionally, the longer the chaos will subside, because where our emotions go, our energy flows, right? I know they say where your thoughts go, but in this context, it really does feel like whatever you're giving your emotional attention to is going to grow, is going to magnify, really. So we don't want that. We want peace. So the quicker you're able to emotionally detach from the situation and think with mental clarity, the quicker life will turn out. Okay. Next we have the Lovers in reverse. This could very well be about a connection. And to clarify that, we have the Six of Coins. Okay, I think I see what's happening. Again, it's all about that imbalance, right? Because with the Lovers reversed, clarified by the Six of Coins, it could very well be that if this is regarding a connection or like a partnership of some sort, it could very well be that one person was giving more than they were receiving. This could be you, this could be the other person. It really doesn't matter. The point is the imbalance. And if you're the giver, you deserve someone who will pour into you just as much. If you're the receiver, you deserve someone who is willing to receive from you as well. And in either case, the imbalance is the cause of conflict. Because with the 5, these 2 5s here, 5 is when in any suit, the 4 is stability. The 5 is when the scales tip, right? So with the Four of Coins, financial stability, stagnation. Five of Coins, poverty. Four of Swords, rest, relax. Five of Swords, conflict. Four of Wands, celebration, joy, marriage. Five of Wands, conflict. Four of Cups, Five of Cups, same thing. Okay, so it does feel, and then you have two sixes in reverse and a six. So fives and sixes, you could be seeing these numbers a lot. But anyway, I keep getting sidetracked. See, I feel like your mind is so all over the place. This could very well be suggesting getting a mental health checkup, because with how unfocused I've been, I know a lot of the times things like anxiety, depression can cause unfocus, ADHD, ADD, all of those things. I only say that because I've had anxiety and depression for the longest time, and I know it can cause like poor focus when you're in the midst of it all. So a mental health checkup might be due. Obviously, this is not me diagnosing anyone or anything. I am not qualified for that, but it might be worth, at the very least, checking in with how your mind is, what thoughts run through your head all day, every day, and doing like a mental health checkup in that sense. Okay? Our final tarot cards. We have the Fool again, clarified by the Chariot in reverse. Yeah, so there's definitely a new beginning coming your way, pile number one. We don't want to focus for whatever reason. Okay, there we go. There's definitely a new journey that you're embarking on. But with the Chariot in reverse, it could be slow to begin. And since the Chariot is Cancerian energy, which is very deeply emotional, it might be a journey of intellect. You might, okay, you might go back to school. Maybe you're being called to go back to school, and maybe that's causing conflict and turmoil. Maybe you have a job that is very secure and you're considering leaving it to go back to school, and then that's causing all kinds of chaos. Or whatever the situation is, you might be embarking on a new intellectual journey. That's interesting. Maybe a higher qualification, or just completely changing your major if you're already in school or college. I think so I keep wanting to say go with the flow, but that's not right. It doesn't feel right. Can we put it in better words? Follow where your mind is leading you as opposed to your heart, because it feels like, this is, I usually give very backwards, like very different advice to this, as do most tarot readers, obviously, but it feels like at the moment your emotions are shot. Like they are so overstimulated. It feels like your emotional body is so overworked and so all over the place that relying on your feelings might not be the best idea right now. And it's ironic that this is a divine feminine reading, and I'm being called to tell you to put your emotions aside and think about things logically. But perhaps your emotions have been exploited in the past. Maybe your deeply emotional nature has put you in situations where you ended up having to give more than you received. You ended up being in a lot of conflict where your emotions were exploited. You ended up having to put walls up because people trampled all over your boundaries. And It's almost like I almost feel over caffeinated, but in an emotional way, where it's like it's not, the caffeine isn't even helping you wake up anymore. It's just stressing you out. And take that, apply it to your emotional body. That's kind of how it's coming in. So whatever journey you're stepping into, I do believe you want to think about it rationally. And if the only reason you're refusing to take that step is due to emotional concerns, you're very much being called to step away from that and think with a clear mind. 10 years from now, 5 years from now, 2 years from now, 1 year from now, are you going to look back and be glad that you stayed stuck because at least your emotions were appeased in that moment? At least there was emotional stillness and stability? Or are you going to regret that and wonder where you could have been if you had just made the smart choice, the smart choice, which in this case means the choice driven by your mind rather than your heart. So, yeah, I feel like the Divine Feminine is telling you to let her go for a bit and find balance in your Divine Masculine for a bit, because you might be too reliant on your emotions to a point where they are all over the place. They need a break, because too much of anything will make you sick, in the words of our Queen Cheryl. But that's so interesting. Right off the bat, pile number 1. Wow. What's the message from the Divine Feminine? Stop engaging with the Divine Feminine for a bit and give her a break. No, but for real though, I do think you're being called to give your emotional self a bit of a break, step into your mental energy, make your choices from there. So let's now look at what advice the Divine Feminine has for you with these animals. Oh, see, look, they've all fallen. Oh my goodness. Yeah, these cards, wow, okay. Okay, so let's try that again. Let's take a look at advice for you from the Divine Feminine with these animal spirit cards. And I may read one or more of these from the deck. We'll see. First, we have the brown bear spirit. I might have to manually focus. Take time out. Yep. Take time out. And then we have the canary spirit in reverse. Sing your own song. And we have the butterfly spirit. Transformation is beautiful. Absolutely. So, okay. Take time out, sing your own song in reverse. Butterfly spirit, transformation is beautiful. Yeah, definitely take some time out from all the chaos. Transformation is beautiful, pretty self-explanatory, but what I'm concerned with is this canary spirit in reverse, sing your own song. So that's the one we're going to read. Oh, it opened to the exact right page as well. Wow. Okay. Canary spirit, sing your own song. Protection message. Are you suppressing your true voice? Perhaps trying to sing the song you think people want to hear instead of your own. You create a cage around your life when you express only what you think will help you fit in and get what you think you want. Canary spirit comes to help you express yourself in a more honest and authentic way. Yes, not everyone will agree with you. In fact, not everyone will want to hear you. Not everyone will want to hear your originality or accept your uniqueness. You must not give this a single care. Canary spirit is cheering for you and wants you to know you are safe and loved. Find your voice and have the courage to spread your wings and sing out loud. The world needs your true song. Yeah, whatever journey you're about to embark on, Pile 1, it feels like it might have to do with your authentic self-expression. Because so far it feels like you've almost been like a slave to your emotions, and like everything you did in order to find emotional stability. And now you're being told that emotional stability doesn't come from constantly obsessing over your emotions. It comes from living your life regardless of how you're feeling right now, because feelings are transitory, they pass. But the choices you make can have a longer lasting effect. So whatever journey you're about to embark on, you're definitely being called to focus on your authentic voice, focus on your self that isn't emotionally in turmoil all the time. That's who you are, and that's who you are about to be. That's the energy you're stepping into. So Pawan, that is your beautiful reading from the Divine Feminine. It was not what I expected, I'm going to be honest, but it was very interesting regardless, and I hope it resonated. If it did, please remember to comment below how this resonates for you. Subscribe to my channel for more readings. Thank you so much for being here and sharing your energy with me and letting me read for you. I truly do hope it gets better and life gets easier for you, because this energy is nothing to sniff at. But in either case, thank you so much for being here and sharing your time and energy with me. You can stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Pile number 2. Hello, welcome. So if you picked this citrine crystal, then this is your reading all about a message from the Divine Feminine. So I'm going to be honest, of the 3 piles, yours was the perfect shuffle. And that to me says this message is going to be pretty chill, pretty relaxed, and hopefully pretty encouraging. But I haven't really got a format today. I've just got 5 cards, 5 clarifiers, and 2 oracle cards for any advice. And we'll just go ahead and see what comes out. So what's your message from the Divine Feminine? We have the 10 of Cups in reverse. Ooh, okay, straight away. And that's clarified by the 2 of Wands. How to, do you spend a lot of time daydreaming? Do you? Maladaptive daydreaming even? Because that's kind of the vibe I'm getting here, because with the 10 of Cups in reverse and the 2 of Wands, it feels like you might be spending so much of your time either looking back at the past or fantasizing about the future that you're forgetting to live in the present moment. Especially if you're someone who fantasizes about the future a lot as a means of escapism, you might be missing out on so many things in your life right now that you can be so grateful for. Because with the 10 of Cups in reverse, clarified by the 2 of Wands, do you see how this character, Janus, I believe, has 2 heads, one looking to the past, one looking to the future, neither of those looking straight ahead to the present moment. Whereas, funnily enough, in this card here, both of these heads are looking straight ahead to the present moment. I think the Divine Feminine wants to call you out a little bit on just how much energy and time you're spending fantasizing about things that may occur or may eventually come true, but it's almost like at the cost of recognizing and being grateful for all the blessings that are already in your life. And it might also get to a point, unless you catch yourself, it might get to a point where it's almost, is that wavy? That's so weird. The lines on my table do this in every single video, and I don't understand why. It's not like a filter, you guys, I swear. It's just the camera being weird. Anyway, so, well, look, I even got distracted. What's going on today? So, yeah, it might be maladaptive daydreaming because the divine feminine wants to call your attention to what you might be trying to escape while you're daydreaming. What is it that you're trying to avoid thinking about by then moving to think about like the future or fantasies or whatever it is you spend your time daydreaming? What in your present life is causing you to run away from it? Maybe that could be something to focus on. How can you change that in order to come closer to this fantasy life? What is your fantasy about? 9 times out of 10, it's probably about love, freedom, joy, success. And instead of fantasizing or daydreaming of how you will get there, a lot of the times our daydreams can be about how I can get away from where I'm at right now. And that's where the kind of nuance of it comes in, part 2. Interesting. Yeah, I feel like straight away you're being called out. But it almost feels like you and the divine feminine are like that. Like you might have done a lot of divine feminine healing already. And so you're at the point now where it's like she's a friend to you or a sister or like a peer, but wiser. Where she's like, she feels comfortable calling you out on your nonsense. But at the same time, it's from a place of love and she feels like you know it as well. Next, we have the Queen of Cups. There it is. There's that maternal energy. Clarified by the 3 of Wands. How interesting. Okay. I think I'm getting something here. So, as I'm sure everyone who has spent any time looking at tarot cards knows, the Queen of Cups is the only cup card with a lid on the cup. At least in the original Ryder, Waite, Smith deck. Okay, so that talks about emotional resilience, emotional control, of having a sense of authority over your emotions. And so the cups also talks about dreams and fantasies and that. So in this context, a degree of control over your daydreams. But when you master that, it's leading you to the 3 of Wands, which is actually moving towards your desired reality. Not just standing there fantasizing and maladaptive daydreaming, but actually figuring out how to get there. Because what comes after the 3? The 4 of Wands, which is rejoice, celebration. Whereas the 2 of Wands is thinking, dreaming, planning, looking forward. It's the 3 that connects the 2 of them. It connects the 2 of Wands to the 4 of Wands, right? And the advice here is like just straight up, like she's not mincing words with you guys. It's all coming through so easily. Mastery over your fantasies, over your daydreams, over this sense of using your fantasy and daydream and emotional thoughts, ideas. Mastery over that is what will tell you how to actually get there. When you're able to control where your fantasies go, because sometimes you might find that your fantasies, you might start, for instance, dreaming of, oh, this is my dream job. It's going to be so great. I'm going to make so much money. I'm going to do work that I love. And then there's going to be co-workers. And then, of course, there will be one of those co-workers who doesn't want the best for me. And then I'll have a work enemy, but then I'll have a work bestie that will back me up with a work enemy and blah, blah, blah. Do you see how it went from I want a dream job all the way to there is someone in my office that I hate, who doesn't even exist. Office doesn't even exist. That job doesn't even exist yet. And you've already taken it to that extent. Obviously, that was an example. Extrapolate this to your situation, whatever it is. The point is, you're being told right now that your daydreams need auditing. What does that even mean, you guys? What does that mean? What does it mean to audit your daydreams? They're saying it will make sense to you, so it'll make sense to you. Maybe you're an auditing officer. If so, please don't judge my videos. Okay, no, but for real, when you have a lid on your cup, that cup that signifies daydreams and fantasies, that's when you find concrete steps, a literal ladder that will help you climb towards your dreams, towards these fantasies, in a healthy way, not in a way that means you're escaping your present reality, all right? Next, we have the Three of Swords here, clarified by the Knight of Cups. Okay. Yeah, dude, it's like, because, okay, I just tried to say a million things all at once. Can we focus? Okay, look, even the camera won't focus. With the Three of Swords and the Knight of Cups, the Knight of Cups is known to bring an offer of love, all right, is that the Knight? Okay. The Knight of Cups is thought to bring an offer of love, an emotional offer, a connection of some sort. And a lot of the times, it can also be seen as like a hopeless flirt, like a fantasy, someone who's offering you smoke and mirrors, really. And maybe that's where the Ten of Cups here is in reverse as well, because it's not real. These fantasies that you have, it's only going to lead to heartbreak when they don't come true, because you haven't spent any time connecting them to your present reality in any way. You haven't spent any time building a bridge between them. Bridging that gap is what will bring you to your fantasy. And then if you're not present in your present time, that is, you're not going to figure out how to work backwards from your desired reality to your current reality. You're not going to find a way to walk backwards if you don't know where you're currently at, if you keep avoiding it, right? So it's almost like she's the divine feminine, however you picture her. She's almost like chastising you a little bit, reprimanding you a little bit, because you have one half of the equation. You have the dream, you have the passion, you have the drive, but you don't have a start line. Like, you can't run a race unless you know where it begins. It's the same thing. How to, you're just straight up avoiding reality, and that's not going to help you at all. That's, I feel like so far that's like the message. And unless you acknowledge where you currently are, it's like all these fantasies, this Knight of Cups representing these fantasies, are not, they're just going to be smoke and mirrors, and then it's going to lead to heartbreak. So let's focus in, put a lid on those fantasies a little bit, take a look around us, take a look at where we are today, and take stock of what needs to change. How do you build your Three of Wands bridge to get to that joyous, happy celebration? Okay. Next we have, I'm going to have to manually focus these. We have death. Ooh. Is that focused? I don't know. We have death, and that's clarified by temperance. Can we focus? Thank you. Temperance. Okay. Death. Transformation. Massive changes that need to happen. But when do they happen? When you find balance. The divine feminine is not telling you to throw away your dreams and desires. She's not asking you to sacrifice your fantasies at all. No. But she is cautioning you about bringing balance to the situation. Do you see in this temperance card, her eyes are closed. She's doing a million things, but her eyes are closed. Because she is aware of her reality, but she has her eyes on the prize. That's the balance. That's the balance. You don't have to give up on your daydreams. You don't have to throw away your fantasies altogether. You don't have to swing to the other extreme of the pendulum. You just have to figure out a way to bridge the gap. And in order to do that, there needs to be big change. You need to refocus. And this death card could also indicate the change that you will bring when you're able to bring balance. I really feel for you, Pal, too, because I know what it's like to not like the life that you're living, to not enjoy reality the way it is, and to constantly fantasize about how life might be. And it's perfectly normal. But in order to get to that life, you don't just want them to stay fantasies, do you? You want that to become your new reality. And the only way to do that is to find what connects that version of you to the present version of you. How do you build a link there? You can't do that unless you know who you are right now, where you are right now, how your life is going right now. That's what we need. There's a lot of fire energy. There's Sagittarius, there's 2 fires, there's Scorpio death. Oh, there's also a lot of water energy. Also fire and water energy, which are opposing elements. That's so interesting. But also, you need both. You need both the fire and the water. And in this situation, it almost feels like that fire energy is indicating your present reality, while the water is indicating your emotions, your fantasies, your dreams, the abstract, the illusion of it all. Because right now it does feel like an illusion, and it will forever stay an illusion unless you can find a way to connect it, to ground it into your reality. And in order to do that, you have to first find yourself. The more... Okay, here's some wisdom for you that's coming in. The more you sit around daydreaming when you could be working, the more, or like working or writing, creating, whatever you do, the more you daydream instead of being in your present moment, the more you're reinforcing to your subconscious and to the universe that you are not where you want to be. Because the version of you that has already achieved the things that you want to achieve wouldn't sit around daydreaming about their current reality. They would be engaged in their current reality. And the universe doesn't respond to thoughts and ideas and fantasies. The universe responds to who you are, who you proclaim yourself to be. That's what the universe brings you more of. And if you're the version of you who is constantly fantasizing, who's constantly living in a potential reality, that person is not happy with their present circumstances. That person is escaping their present circumstances. And guess what? The universe will just reinforce that for you over and over and over again. It will bring you more instances where you feel like escaping your present reality and escaping into a fantasy. Oh, that's profound. So think about it like this. If you had your dream job, if you had your dream home, if you had your dream partner, would you sit around fantasizing about your dream job and your dream home and your dream partner? No, you'd spend your time engaging with all of those things. You'd spend your time in your house, in your job, doing your work, hanging out with your partner, having fun, feeling loved, feeling secure, feeling financially stable. As opposed to fantasizing about a day where you might feel those things. Do you know what I mean? That is so profound, part 2. That's so helpful for me as well, which is why I love doing these readings, because the wisdom that flows through is always universal. It applies to everyone. It's just about what context we use it in. But you will only really find transformation, you will only really find a new life that you so deeply crave when you find balance, when you find a way to create an emotional connection that will act as a bridge between your present reality and your future reality. Our final tarot cards are the 9 of Cups. That's that emotional bridge. Do you see like a bridge of cups? That's all I see. And that's clarified by the 7 of Cups, the illusion. Okay. There's so much metaphor here about connecting your current reality to your ideal reality, your current self to your ideal self. Because do you see the 7 of Cups is sat here looking at all these cups, fantasizing, living in the joy of escaping into an illusion. Whereas the 9 of Cups, looking straight ahead to that current reality, he knows what it is. He knows he has these cups. He knows that he has everything he wants. His desires are fulfilled. He doesn't have to constantly look at his cups to make sure that they're there. He knows. Whereas the 7 of Cups was constantly going to look at all these cups and be like, oh my goodness, oh, they're all there. Oh, look how beautiful. Oh, I wish I could have them all. Oh, no. And what's the connecting in between card? The 8 of Cups. Walking away. You can't walk away from something unless you know where you come from and where you're going. Ooh, my mind is blown. Okay, wow. Yeah, pile 2. The Divine Feminine right now wants you to first ground into your current reality. Take stock of what is forcing you to engage in this escapism. What is it that makes you want to ignore your present and solely live in a fantasy? Because it's not even... So I know when you're manifesting, you kind of want to do that in a way where you don't emotionally react to your present reality and you only emotionally invested in your future. But that comes from a place of love and excitement for the future, whereas maladaptive daydreaming comes from a place of hatred for your current reality. It's not ignoring your current reality, it is actively detesting it, actively being hurt by it, feeling pain about it, suffering from it. That is not emotionally detaching from your present reality. That is an emotional attachment. It's still intense connection. So the advice here is to find that nuance where, yes, hold the vision. Absolutely hold the vision. But don't let that make you feel bad about where you are today. Don't hold the vision because you want to get away from who you are today. Find things to be grateful for in your current reality that you will bring with you into your future reality. That might be one way to bridge that gap. Think about all the things in your present life that you will keep even when you are your ideal version of yourself. Even when you are in your desired reality, what are the things that you will still cherish, you will still love? Maybe you have pets, siblings, family, friends, partner, hobbies, plants, things that you will always love, always have. That's the bridge between you and your future self. That's the connecting anchor almost. That's the feelings you want to lean into. Those are the things that won't change, that you won't want changed, right? So maybe lean into those because that's a permanent state of being. And when you're able to feel that love and that joy, that brings you into the present, and that brings your desired reality into the present moment. Oh my goodness, this turns into a straight up manifestation masterclass, and I didn't even know any of this. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, Pal 2, the divine feminine right now wants you to acknowledge your reality, acknowledge where you are today. Stop seeing your dreams as just dreams that you can use to escape your reality, because that's doing them a disservice. It is not an illusion. It is entirely possible. If you were given a dream, it was because you are fully capable of realizing it. Do not do yourself and the universe the discourtesy of assuming that you will never have it. That is insulting and pointless. That is not a dream. That is where you are going. It absolutely is. And the sooner you're able to accept that, the sooner you see your present reality as changeable, as, temporary. That's how easy it should be. So finally, Pile 2, let's take a look at your oracle cards. Not that we need to, with all the advice coming out, but let's see. We have the Bee Spirit. Sweet results await. Yes, they do. They're right there. They're waiting for you. Isn't that funny? That's a 7 as well. And that's the 7 of Cups, which is the illusion. The illusion is the sweet result that's waiting for you to come find it, to build that bridge. And we have the Ant Spirit. Time to collaborate. Do you know what I just had a thought? I just had a thought that maybe you could tap into your future self who has the life that you desire and collaborate with them in some way. Find a way to almost tap into their wisdom. Ask them how they did it. There's lots of future progression meditations here on YouTube even that might truly help you. And it will be like you have a co-worker or a partner in some way where your project is bringing you to your desired reality, and you could work with them in that way. But I really want to read the Bee Spirit from the book because it's such a beautiful card. Bee Spirit, sweet results await. The bee spirit's message is that sweet rewards are on their way if you are willing to get your ego out of the way. Bee spirit knows not to let a sense of being separate get in the way of a good thing. Spirit is always producing honey. Miracles and magic are everywhere. When you connect with the great hive, you are vibrating and buzzing in exquisite harmony with all. Bee spirit asks that your focus be on connectivity. That's what this whole reading was about, is connecting that bridge. Okay, anyway, Bee spirit wants you to remember that your part in the divine partnership with the conscious universe is being rewarded, even if you can't see that yet, and ask that you share your good fortune as there is plenty honey for all. Be a part of the larger whole, the force that brings forth all that is sweet and delightful. Aww. Pile 2, that was beautiful. That's beautiful. All right, so wow, that was a profound reading. I know we laughed and joked a lot, but there was truly so much depth and wisdom here that I'm so grateful that you guys tapped in today, because I got to learn so much from this reading. So truly, thank you for being here and for letting me do this reading for you and sharing your time and energy, because wow. I just feel like I went through a massive spiritual upgrade. But thank you so much for being here. Truly, like, I know I say that every time, but like, wow. Okay. But yeah, you guys, I really hope this reading resonated and brought you some clarity and support. If it did, please remember to leave me a comment below telling me how this resonates for you. Subscribe to my channel for more readings. You can stick around to the outro for another reading on my channel, but wow, I'm still reeling from it. But yeah, thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye. Pile number 3, hello, welcome. So if you guys picked this carnelian stone, then this is your reading. Welcome to the messages that the Divine Feminine has for you. So, I should say before we dive into any of it, your pile, when I was shuffling the cards, it almost felt intuitive. Like, instead of the cards falling out, they kind of popped out of the deck, and I was being called to pull them out intuitively. And none of them flipped over while I was shuffling them. So I was like, oh, this is all very quiet. And then the song Hush Hush by the iconic Pussycat Dolls was playing in my mind. So I don't know. Maybe that song means something to you. But also it does make me think that you guys are tapping into your intuition more consciously. Rather than these messages just flying out at you, you might be able to tap into your intuition at will, rather. So I've gone ahead and pre-shuffled the cards. We have 5 tarot cards with 5 clarifiers, and then we have 2 oracle cards for advice from the Divine Feminine. I've kept it open. We'll just see what comes through. The first 2 piles have been vastly different and insane and intense. So I'm going to warn you now, these messages are, they're heavy, but in a good way, of course. So your first cards, what's the message from the Divine Feminine? We have the Moon. Well, would you look at that? The intuition and hush hush. Come on now. And to clarify, we have the Queen of Coins. Beautiful. Yeah, I think just straight up, you guys, what I said earlier was bang on. The Moon is intuition. It is the hidden realm. It is trusting your instinct to get you through periods of not having clarity. And the Queen of Pentacles is the queen of the earthly realm, what's solid and real and tangible. So, and she's quite independent. She works on will, on command. And what she says is done in the physical reality. So it does feel like you're stepping into an era where your intuitive nudges are coming at will, in the sense of you don't have to sit around for a new moon or a full moon and do a ritual and hope and pray for an intuitive message to hit you. You can reach out and pull them out of thin air the way I pulled these cards out of the deck. I wasn't looking at them when I pulled them, but look how they match up to exactly what I said before. It feels like you're stepping into an era now where you're much more perceptive with subtleties. You're much more powerful with your psychic gifts and your powers. And you're able to wield them exactly how and exactly when you want to. And that is powerful and so underrated, I'm going to be honest. Because it is one thing to be psychic in the sense of, oh, I can hear messages from the 12th dimension. But it's a whole other thing to be like, BRB, I'm going to pop into the 12th dimension and ask for a message and come back with one. Like, that's a whole other level of psychic, you guys. And I feel like that's exactly where you're going. And you might even see signs of it right now in your physical reality. Maybe snakes, or what is this in the coin she's holding? Is that like a grasshopper? I think that might be a grasshopper inside the coin. Do you see that? Maybe snakes or grasshoppers might be significant at this time. You might see them a lot. You might spend a lot of time around plants and animals and just nature in general. You might enjoy moon bathing. That could be something. Or just meditating on the moon quite a lot. You might have heavy Cancer placements. But regardless, that's just by the by. If it resonates, that's great. If it doesn't, that's great. But the point is, you're coming into a time in your life where, honestly, you're just turning into a witch. It is what it is. Because it's not just that you're magical, it's that you're magical on command. And there's a difference there. And it is so powerful. I just watched Wicked like 3 times in a row. But there's that moment towards the end, without spoilers, where she goes from just accidentally creating magic to willfully creating magic. And it is a whole other, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to, not diaphragm. What is the word? It's a whole, let's just say dimension. It's a whole other dimension of being a witch. It's a whole other ball game for her. And that's what I feel like you're stepping into right now. Where it's like, it goes from accidentally manifesting things to manifesting every single time that you intend to. It goes from accidentally getting intuitive nudges to willfully asking for intuitive nudges and actually getting them. That is powerful, pile 3. Holy guacamole. It's no wonder your cards were being so intentional when they came out. So next we have the world in reverse. Okay. And that is clarified by the devil in reverse. Yeah, okay. Yeah, straight up. You're stepping away from the illusion of it all. You are releasing yourself from the world and its issues and, all the stuff that goes on in it that keeps you trapped in this cycle. Like, do you see how the snake is sort of forming like an infinity loop there? You're stepping out of it, and that's what's causing this whole paradigm. Paradigm, that's the word I was looking for earlier. Thank you. Took me a second, but it's a whole new paradigm. But what was I saying? Yeah, it's like you may have spent a lot of time stuck in worldly issues, stuck in very human problems. And it feels like recently you've just straight made a decision to be like, nah, I'm done. I'm not doing that anymore. That's not the world I want to live in anymore. I'm stepping away. I'm cutting people out. I do not want to talk about my car's extended warranty. You know, what I want to do is frolic in nature, have fun, hang with the universe and no one else. You might find yourself quite isolated because both these characters here are all alone, surrounded by whatever the world is going on, but they came here alone. And that might be the energy you're in, where you're in the world but not of it. Ooh, bars. But it does feel like you're releasing yourself from the illusion of physical reality and stepping into a paradigm where you are creating physical reality. It's not happening for you. It's not happening to you. It's happening by you. And there is so much power in that, pile 3. Ooh, oh my goodness. I'm a little intimidated by you. No, I'm just kidding. We need more people like you in charge. That's wonderful. Well done. Whatever you've done, whatever growing you've done recently, oh my goodness. It is a whole other game for you now. We have the star also in reverse. Look, I know these cards in reverse usually don't indicate good things, but I feel like these are wonderful in your case. To clarify, we have the Hierophant in reverse. Well, there you go. The star is looking into the sky and hoping things will change someday, and, you know, wishing for something grand and beautiful and being optimistic, and all of that is well and good. The Hierophant talks about structure and societal norms and rules and following them. And all of that is great until it keeps you stuck. Until you wish upon so many stars that all you're doing is wishing. Until you're stuck in a system that doesn't serve you or anyone else. And like we've just seen, you've decided no. No, thank you. Do you see how all but one of these cards are major arcana, and the only card we have that's not a major arcana is a core card? This is massive, pile 3. This is probably the biggest shift you have ever experienced. Or you will ever experience as well. Because look at this. Look at this spread. It's amazing. Oh, pile 3. Teach us your ways. Because, wow, okay. No, but for real though, you're stepping away from this idea of, oh, wishful thinking. Oh my goodness, I have to sit here and manifest and write my lines and visualize constantly and look up at the astrological placements and figure out when the best time to manifest is. Nah. You're also stepping away from, oh, there is no magic in the world. It's all about being realistic and, you know, some things are just not possible. Some things are not meant for me or people like me. You might come from like a marginalized background where opportunities may not be as easily put in your path the way they might be for other people. But you're stepping into a paradigm where you're like, literally what? It literally doesn't matter, because I now understand that reality will only reflect what I hold to be true, and therefore I will change my beliefs. Therefore I will change how I think the world works, and so how the world works will change entirely to fit my understanding of it. You're stepping away from the air energy and you're stepping away from the earth energy. You're stepping straight into High Priestess energy. I'm surprised that hasn't come out yet. But in either case, though, Pal 3, this is a major shift. You may have done some serious inner work, some serious shadow work, or like inner child healing, what have you. Because to get to this level of thinking is not easy. It isn't. So I feel like the divine feminine is just pat yourself on the back, girl. I don't know if you guys have seen that TikTok of that little boy. But that's what I'm seeing. It's this little boy and his mom is like, do you like the chicken? And he takes a bite and he's like, ooh, pat yourself on the back, girl. And that's what I feel like the divine feminine, the mother goddess, however you see her, is telling you. It is looking at you like, ooh, you're doing so well. You're doing so well. You've done so well. And the new paradigm you've walked into, oh my God. You have no idea what you're capable. Well, I mean, no, you do actually. You do now. You now have an idea of what you're capable of. What you don't have an idea of is how vastly your life is about to change. Next, we have, again, the Chariot in reverse. And that is clarified by the Page of Coins, also in reverse. You're not playing it small anymore, Path 3. The Page of Coins is someone who is beginning their journey for wealth. They're beginning their ascent in the physical world. No. You're the queen. You're up here. You're up here dancing with this cool snake. And the Chariot in reverse, the Chariot upright talks about moving forward, fast movement, moving forward with, pride and excitement and power and all of that. But with these two here, both in reverse, it almost feels like it's reiterating this Hierophant in reverse card where you're not playing by the rules of your current reality anymore. You don't intend to move forward in this type of situation. You don't want to invest in this. You don't want to be here anymore. And so you're simply choosing not to. What you will invest is your intuition. What you will invest in is your abundance. You don't need any of these. Look at all of these cards are in reverse. Unfair contracts, the physical world and what it considers successful, wishful thinking, systems and institutions, fast-paced movement, the rat race, investing in something that doesn't even matter, staying small, playing it safe. All of those are in reverse. You're not here to play by these rules anymore. You're not messing around. And the divine feminine wants you to recognize that, because sometimes it can be easy to look around you and feel like you're slower than everyone else. Your life isn't moving at the same pace as everyone else, or that you're not achieving what everyone else would see as successful. But you have to remind yourself, that's not who you are anymore. That's not what you want anymore. That's not what you deserve anymore. If you want to move faster and stay at this page level, that's fine. But you and I both know that right now, it's completely different. None of this is real anymore. Our final tarot cards are the Five of Cups in reverse. Interesting. Clarified by the Two of Swords. Okay, so this is more a bit of a warning. You might find that as you advance in this new life, this new way of thinking. You might find that people fall away, situations fall away that you are comfortable with, but also know that you are more than capable. You are more than capable of recognizing the stuff that is sticking with you through this transformation. And you're more than capable of relying on your intuition to tell you exactly what you need to do, where to go next, what you can safely cut out of your life, and what is going to stay with you in the long term. Yeah, the caution isn't so much about, oh, you might lose some things. I feel like you already know that. If you're this wise at this stage in your life, you already know that growing and evolving means people falling away, means situations falling away, means your comfort zone falling apart. You know that. What the divine feminine wants you to also remind yourself of is that you're more than capable of recognizing exactly what you can trust to stay in your life. And even if the world around you is falling apart, you know that these two swords are yours and yours alone. You know that your intuition is yours and yours alone. And you are more than capable of making choices that serve your highest good. And in doing so, serve the highest good of the world around you. Because at the end of the day, your will and God's will, or the will of the universe, are one and the same, because you are God, you are the universe, right? It is just a matter of stepping into that energy, which I feel like you are starting to do. You already have done, honestly. So yeah, I think the little word of warning isn't so much about, oh, things are going to fall apart, because I feel like you already know that. You already know, and you're more than prepared for it. The word of warning is that sometimes your past self is going to kick in a little bit and look at all these 3 cups that are fallen over, but you are more than capable of switching it back up, going back to your ideal self, your higher self, your more evolved version, looking at the 2 cups that are still standing and realizing, hell yeah, bro, you guys are coming with me wherever I'm going. And that's all I need. Powerful. Powerful Pal 3. You guys are absolute rock stars. So finally, let's take a look at some advice from the Divine Feminine. We have the Buffalo Spirit in reverse. The abundant universe will provide. And we have the Electric Eel Spirit in reverse. Bring your ideas to life. You know, just because I'm curious why they're in reverse, I'm going to read them both from the book. So, number 10, Buffalo Spirit in reverse, the abundant universe will provide. When Buffalo Spirit visits you with a message of protection, he's asking you to shift your thinking from poverty consciousness to one where you trust the universe will provide. Do you see scarcity where there is, in fact, abundance? Are you comparing yourself to others and falling short? Self-pity, entitlement, fear, and lack are all thought viruses that seduce you into darkness. Buffalo Spirit nudges you to make a gratitude list and be mindful of your thoughts at this time. Give to someone who has less than you. Be thankful for the tiniest things and say affirmations. Then you will remember abundance is the true nature of the world. Maybe if the situation does arrive where you feel like you're lagging behind everyone else, and there's comparisons coming up and there's existential dread setting in, maybe make a gratitude list, and that might help you a lot. Electric Eel Spirit, bring your ideas to life in reverse. Ideas need to percolate as they rarely download in detailed form. Have you too quickly dismissed an epiphany because you couldn't see where it might lead you? Have you rushed to follow the muse without taking time to contemplate the meaning of your aha moment? Perhaps your dream will take a different form than you first imagined, morphing into something else that is even better. Maybe your big idea is taking more time to shape than you expected. Have you considered that you are meant to learn something in the process of bringing it into being? Commit to transformation and learning any lessons this new venture will bring, and soon you will see that your aha was even more valuable than you realized when you first felt it electrify you. So that might be a specific message for something you might have recently discovered that hasn't come up in the reading, but just like a random epiphany that's hit you. Maybe you either just missed it or ran with it too quickly, and you might want to look back at it and really re-examine it, and it might teach you something new. And also, if you feel like things are not moving quite as fast as they should once you've had your spiritual awakening, maybe it's because you need to learn more as you get there. Because once you get there, the knowledge that you acquire might be very specifically useful. All right, pile 3? But in either case, you're doing so well. This is so powerful. Whatever you've done, however you've done it, you're on the right track and you've already come way further. It cut me off. But yeah, I was just saying, congratulations, and I'm so excited for you to experience the fruit of all this labor. But yeah, that's your reading for today, you guys. Thank you so much for sharing your energy and your time with me today and letting me do this reading for you. I hope it was helpful. I hope you enjoyed. If this resonated, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I super appreciate that. You can comment below how this resonates for you. I'd be so delighted to know. Stick around to the outro just after this for another reading, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.